So next up we have our benchmark winners, and these are companies that have embraced the principles of zero distance from their beginning, from their formation. To quote the famous Lady Gaga song, they were born that way. And like Hire, these are management pioneers that have banished bureaucracy, really never had bureaucracy, and worked to build organizations that are flat, open, and highly empowering. And our first benchmark winner is Morningstar. And I had the pleasure of getting to know them about 15 years ago, wrote an article for Harvard Business Review about them, and founded by Chris Rufer, Morningstar is America's and the world's largest tomato processor. At Morningstar, there are no managers at all, no titles. Employees negotiate their contracts with each other in what they call a colleague letter of understanding, and they have become a benchmark for self-managing organizations around the world. Our first winner, Morningstar.
The second winner of the benchmark innovation category is Hawksby. And I should say, the first British winner of an award today. Hawksby is a community-based B Corp, a business balancing profit with social impact, and it delivers creative and strategic services with a distributed workforce across 43 countries. At Hawksby, associates work according to their own work style, organizing around client needs with full autonomy and participating in a profit-sharing scheme.
Our next winner, Stuart, is Birdzorg, the leading Dutch home health care organization. They have a hyper-flat structure with more than 1,000 teams and 10,000 nurses delivering services across the Netherlands. They have become one of the most benchmarked healthcare organizations in the world. They deliver better patient care at lower cost, peer-beating service, and there's much to learn from them. We're going to hear a little bit more from Birdzorg later.
This shows you, it shows you the range, nursing, tomatoes, and now we're coming to Sina from Uganda. Again, it's showing the global range of these progressive organizations. Sina is a social enterprise in Africa that empowers marginalized youth and refugees to become social entrepreneurs. At Sina, participants practice free responsibility, combining freedom and responsibility to create their own curriculum and launch social enterprises within a self-organized community. Truly inspiring story.
Can we have a round of applause for all of our benchmark winners? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, now we have the pleasure to hear from one of these pioneers. Can I invite Thijs de Blok to come up on stage? Thijs is the CEO of Birdzorg International, the son of the founder, Jos de Blok, and lovely to have you here, and you're going to share a few words. Thank you, Thijs. And, oh, sorry, there we go. And I'll bring you the microphone and hold the award. There you go.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you, Stuart, for your kind words. And also thank you to Hire for organizing this event and recognizing the efforts of a completely different company in a completely different industry, in a completely different part of the world. But what we have in common is the fact that the zero distance to customer is in our embodiment, as Gary said. I was literally born this way, as being the son of the founder. But for me, I like to dedicate this award to all the nurses in the Netherlands, but also of our international projects around the world, that see that the relation between client and customer, between client and professional, is the most important thing in healthcare, but in any sort of industry. If there's no interpersonal connection, means that there's no trust. And trust is at the basis of what we should be doing and what makes a person a person. Otherwise, it's just waiting for technology to take over. So that's where our added value is. What we do in home care these days in the Netherlands, because we started 17 years ago, is not to focus only on the delivery of care, but also focusing on creating healthier and more educated and better neighborhoods for people to live in, to create more autonomy, as well as for the workforce, as for the people within it. So it's a few words on Buurtzorg.
Let me
I can
ask
keep
you.
talking forever.
I know you could, and we probably should take the time. But let me ask you a question. Sure. How many managers does Buurtzorg have?
Not very many. Zero.
Yeah, zero. That's not very many. So I want you to think about the idea of managing a group of employees, more than 10,000 now, with no managers at all. That makes most people's heads explode. Can you give us one key to how can that happen? How is that possible?
Yeah, well, what was at the core of our self-management principle is that management in itself has been overrated for many decades. If you integrate management into the work processes, it becomes a lot more logical and a lot more simple. So it's not that is it simple that you take a traditional organization, you fire all the managers and suddenly you're self-managed. That will create some sort of chaos, which I'm not against. But the fact that you integrate these functions into the teams of highly competent, often high educated individuals means that they can organize their own tasks without being bothered with someone with a more abstract idea that's not related to the primary principle of what the organization should be doing. So it actually makes it a lot more effective. When I share the story of Buurtzorg, people listen for sometimes half an hour, sometimes a bit longer. And they say that's very nice, but it's probably very expensive what you're doing. And the cost outcomes show that this way of working, particularly in healthcare, is 40% cost saving compared to the traditional way of organizing. So
which is an enormous advantage when healthcare is, bankrupting governments around the world as populations age.
As populations age, as populations also start to develop more and more problems related to lifestyle behaviors.
All right, Thijs, I love that. So what you're saying is no administrative aristocracy, push the work of managing out to the fringes. So thank you so much, Thijs. Lovely to have you here. Thank you, and let me send you off with your award. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Buurtzorg, a truly inspirational, brilliant story. Thank you. The next winners we'd like to invite on stage are from the British company Hawksby. So please welcome Lizzie Penny and Alexander Hurst. Congratulations. Hold it. Right. Lizzie and Alex, tell us more.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be here today with so many inspiring speakers and pioneering organizations. Thank you so much to the Higher Model Institute and to Thinkers 50 for leading this prestigious ZeroDX Awards. I'm Lizzie. I'm a mum to 3 small children. I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm a carer for a close member of my family who has incurable cancer.
And hello, I'm Alex Hurst. I have 2 small children, and 10 years ago I suffered a debilitating mental health condition, and it was a very difficult time, but also it was the perfect time, because 10 years ago we were able to arrive at an idea, which is the word work style. It's a word that we made up, but a word that we felt was needed to give people the new language they need to talk about how they work. A work style that fits the unique nature of each person's lifestyle, because life changes and every life is different. We started a company to prove that everybody can have their own work style. We started Hawksby. It is a freelance community model whereby each person is a micro-entrepreneur and they organize themselves into teams to most closely meet the needs of our clients. This, as you can imagine, is very similar to the principles of Rend and Hai, which we actually only recently came across but we're delighted to see like-minded people all over the world adopting similar ideals. Hoxby delivers transformation and culture change projects for companies to move towards these more progressive ways of working. We are trying to change the way people work from the inside out. We're very grateful to every member of the Hoxby community who has taken us on this journey so far. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. And during the coronavirus pandemic, we were able to write a book to summarize everything we have learned over the last 10 years of working this way. It has become a Sunday Times #1 bestseller, which only serves to reinforce how important and how popular this subject is now at this inflection point in human history. We hope that it will inspire the next generation of the workforce.
Work style brings people into work who otherwise couldn't work. It gives them connection, financial independence, and a sense of purpose. But it can also be a source of competitive advantage. It creates diversity of thought, where people can truly be their authentic selves within organizations. And as such, it can create collective intelligence. Thank you so much for this award. We hope it inspires even greater change.
Thank you, Lizzie and Alex. Congratulations to Hoxby.
Well, thank you very, very much. Enjoy. No, we're not going to burden you with a question. That was very, very good. Our next guests on platform are from the Social Innovation Academy, based in Africa. At the heart of HIRE's model is entrepreneurship, and this is an organization that's been building entrepreneurship across Africa in the social sector. Can I invite on stage Etienne Salborn and Henry Othieno? Please come and accept the award. Congratulations. And then we'll have a microphone and invite you to tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a real honor and pleasure to be here. Unimaginable 10 years ago when we started. And we are SINA, the Social Innovation Academy. And we unleash the potentials of disadvantaged and marginalized young people, as well as refugees, to really become the change they want to see in the world as social entrepreneurs. And on that journey, it all starts for them to really find their purpose. Many have been traumatized, have come from extreme poverty, have limiting beliefs, and they first have to overcome these limiting beliefs. Some, for example, say, my grandparents have been poor, my parents have been poor, I'm poor, I will always be poor. To set new goals, to find their purpose, to find out that the past doesn't have to define their future, and then they take off like caterpillars who don't know that they can transform. They start flying and literally find their purpose and align to it, but then they don't have the skills and experiences to actually create an enterprise. They're not yet the entrepreneurs they could be. And this is where self-organization comes in. Truly distributed authority. Everyone runs and owns the organization. Everyone takes up roles and responsibilities. And this is the way they gain the skills and experiences to then create their own enterprises. And they graduate and leave when they have a financially self-sustainable social enterprise that is solving challenges in the community and challenges in the environment. And this is what got us here. And we're very excited about that. I want to dedicate this to everyone involved and everyone who is becoming change makers and really living the change they want to see in the world. There's a lot of parallels to the Rwanda model, and we're excited to learn more from it and adopt maybe a few more principles as we grow and scale. Today we have 81 social enterprises that are in existence, having been born at SINA, and we have 16 communities in 6 African countries where the model is implemented and new ones to come next year. I'm also very excited to have with me Henry, who is one of our entrepreneurs and has gone through SINA, and I would like him to share a little bit more his story.
Thank you very much for this recognition. I am very honored to be on this stage for this award. My name is Henry Othieno. And I want to tell you a small story. Right from the beginning, I wanted to provide safe drinking water to marginalized communities. So I proposed this to my first boss, and my first boss told me that it did not make any business sense to create a solution for people who don't have money. So I resigned. I was trained as an accountant, and I was working in that company as an accountant. So I joined the Social Innovation Academy as an accountant. But at Social Innovation Academy, I was able to change from an accountant to a water engineer. At Social Innovation Academy, I was able now to provide the solution that I had always wanted. To date, we are providing safe drinking water to people in the refugee camps and rural schools, to around 300,000 people in Uganda. And that is because of the model that SINA is using. It is not only me that SINA has changed. There are very many refugees who were in the refugee camps who are now international entrepreneurs. There are very many people who have changed their communities because of this model. Thank you very much for recognizing the work that Social Innovation Academy, SINA, is doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Henry, before you leave the stage, Henry, I have one question. Did you say you resigned your job to go to, so can you just tell us for one moment, that was a very courageous decision to make. How did you get the courage to take that step?
I don't know why I became an accountant. It was so boring. I wanted to give back to the community.
That's a good answer. Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to our winners. Congratulations.
Thank you, Etienne and Henry. Proof that accountants can be saved. and also is also proof how important these ideas are, and that management and the practices of Renden High really can change the world.